vote. The one you guys wanted to see was the Everyday Makeup Kit. So let's get started. Alright, so we're going to take just a liquid foundation. I use Infallable by L'Oreal. And you're going to take a brush, just a flat brush. And I put the liquid foundation on the brush. I don't really use sponges or anything like that for liquid foundation, nor my hands, just because the brush helps it spread throughout your whole face. It doesn't leave any spots. I don't really like the blotchiness, so I'm a perfectionist when it comes to my foundation, as you will see. The reason I use Infallable above anything else is just because it covers up everything. No, it doesn't really match my face all that well, but you'll see I put a different powder on after that matches. I don't really have a shade that matches my complexion. I've tried multiple ones, so this is the closest, and I just like it because it leaves my face matte all day, and I don't have to reapply anything. And as you can see, I have a lot of blemishes and I have like a lot of spots and freckles and stuff like that on my face, and it covers everything up like with one coat, as you can see. So it's my fave. Alright, so next what you're going to do is you're going to take a cream concealer. I have a cream concealer palette. I actually got it from Forever 21. I don't really believe in spending a bunch of money on makeup, as you will see by this channel. You're going to take cream colors. I'm taking like 2 shades lighter than what I would normally use for makeup, and so mine is almost like a beige or like a classic tan. And I mix those together and I'm putting that under my eye in just a light coat. I don't do it too heavy, and that's because I put on powder over it, and so I don't want it to look cakey, nor like someone can cut my face open and get cake. So you're going to do a light layer under your eyes, and then you're also going to do it on your forehead, on your chin, and under your cheekbones. And when I do it on my chin, I do like a rounded effect. I don't do like squares or any other type of shape. I do a round shape just because I want it to look like my chin is coming to a point more. And I use this under my cheekbones just because I'm really big on my contour, and automatically it looks like I'm sucking my cheeks in 10 times more than I really am. It kind of just helps the effect of the contour, and you'll see that later on. And so next I'm going to take a very skinny foundation brush, and I'm going to go back with the same color, but a shade up in the second color, and I'm going to draw a line literally right down my nose. And what this is going to do is make my nose come to a point more. It kind of gives you like a fake nose job for the day. Some people like take this like to over the top. I really don't do that. I blend it in with my forehead, and I don't know, it just kind of makes for like a pointed effect on your nose because I kind of have a ball at the end of my nose, and so it just kind of takes that away. I'm going to blend all of it in with the foundation brush I used before, so that way it's not like super light on one side, everything's kind of blended. I'm really big on blending, and I try to make sure everything blends at the end of the day. Now I'm going to take a dark, almost chocolate color, and I'm going to go in and start contouring. So I'm going to start with my cheekbones, and I'm literally just drawing a straight line down my cheek. Not too heavy, just kind of like gliding it down. And then I'm going to just go ahead and brush it in. Now with the same thing, I'm going to start dabbing it on my forehead, right in between my hairline, and I stop like an inch down from my hairline. And so what this does is, I kind of noticed that after I stopped wearing bangs, my forehead is kind of big. So this kind of takes away some of the forehead. Not all of it, but some of it. And it kind of makes the effect like you have a smaller forehead. I also do the same thing down my chin. This kind of makes it look like my face comes to more of a point because I have a rounder face, and this narrows out my entire face. If I could find the rest of my stuff. I am looking for my powder. So now I'm going to blend everything in like I did using that foundation brush. You can use a beauty blender. Some people would say, oh, use a beauty blender. I don't really believe in the beauty blender like that. One, because my cat steals every beauty blender I get, and two, because this brush really does do everything, and it has the foundation color, that color that I always want my face to come back to, and I just feel like it helps blend a little bit more. But if you have a blender and you'd like to use that, it works just as well. whatever your, just do what you want. So now I'm going to take the powdered version of what I just had, and I'm going to go with a skinny, I'm sorry I didn't show you guys a brush. It's just a skinny foundation brush that's a little bit fluffier. You can also use it for blending. And I'm going to line my nose. So you're just going to outline what you just drew in the cream foundation earlier. And I'm just outlining it, and that way it kind of makes the shape that you wish your nose or you want your nose to be. And then you blend that in with the same brush. You never want to do that dark powdered line too thick though, because then it makes you look crazy and it's really hard to blend. I'm also going to use that same cocoa powder that we just used, and I'm going to put it under my lip, and that makes a pout under your lip. I wish my lips were a little bit puffier, so it just makes for a better pout. So this is an ULTA palette I got from ULTA. It was about $18. And I'm going to take the darkest color that they give you there. They don't really have names for their colors. And I'm going to use a smaller brush now to define my contour a little bit more on my cheekbones and just draw it straight down. So now I'm going to take a fluffier angled brush and use that same color, and I'm just going to fluff it. I'm kind of buffing it out more than anything. I'm not really like scraping it on there. I'm just kind of fluffing the color out. Same thing on your forehead and under your chin. This way the cream and the powder kind of mix together, and it just makes for a better color. I've noticed if you use just cream concealer, it kind of makes your face oily, especially in the summer, just because it's so hot outside. And sometimes just powder doesn't really affect it as much. You can't really see it. So with the two, it definitely makes like for a good combo, and it just shows up a lot better. So now we're going to take that foundation brush we used first, and we're just blending. Now, you're going to take an angled, now a lot of people use this for contouring. I use it for highlighting instead. And I'm taking a lighter powder. I'm actually using an orangish, tannish mixed with a beige. And you're only supposed to use orange for color correcting, but since the beige is a little too light, I don't want under my eyes to be extremely light. So I feel like if I mix the two, it makes it so it's just right for my complexion. But you can kind of decide for yourself because everyone's skin tones are different. I don't really have a red undertone. Mine's more of a tannish, and so I can afford to do that. If you have more of a red undertone, then I would use something a little bit more orange or a little more red in it. Now I'm just going to do this in all the places that I put my cream concealer, and I'm just going over it. We're going to do the same thing, go back and blend everything in. As you will see in this video, after I do everything, I blend it, just because I want to make sure everything's blended. I hate when things aren't blended. And at this point, you'll see things are definitely starting to come together, and our face is looking a little bit more presentable. And that's about the goal I go for every single day. So now the only thing that we're going to do now, I'm a tad bit of a perfectionist, and so I take a bright highlight and something with a little shimmer, and I just put it at the ball of my nose where I highlighted my nose, and it just adds a little bit of a, I don't know exactly what it's supposed to add, but it just adds like a speck, so it like adds shine. It just makes it look like the tip of your nose is shining, and it looks like it's pointed. It just adds to the effect. And I'm just going to go back with the dark color I used on my nose and just make sure everything is squared away. And blend. Now I'm going to take a blush brush, and I'm going to use, it's actually a really pretty shimmery orangish. I don't really like pink nor red blushes. I always go with a little bit of a coral salmon color, and I use use that on my cheeks pretty much every day because it's not too blushy and girly, but it's also not too red.